How you doing? Happy Friday. Happy President's Day weekend. And what a weekend it's going to be. Yes, baseball is back, especially New York Mets baseball. And what a show we have planned for you on our podcast today called New York Mets Baseball Way of Life. If you're not familiar with the podcast, by all means, search for it. It's on Apple, it's on Spotify, wherever you get your favorite podcast, we're there. Stitcher, you name it. And today we delve deep into a lot of things Mets you'll be interested in. Number one, we talk about, unfortunately, the passing of Tim McCarver. Tim, a great man, a great baseball man, and I tip my cap to the career of Tim McCarver. A great, great individual. And we also look back at the death of Gary Carter. So yesterday, February 16th, was not a good day in Met history. We lost two of our all-time favorite personalities in Metland on that day, Gary Carter and Tim McCarver. And we talk about that in depth. Also, we talk about, well, spring training and what's going on. We talk about Billy Epler and his first presser of the day, of the new season, I should say, yesterday in Port St. Lucie. We hear from Gary Cohen and his tribute to the late, great Tim McCarver. We talk about the Francisco Lindor State of the Union address, State of the Met Union address, I like to say. And we touch base on Kodai Senga. He's pitching his 50 pitch workouts, getting things going. And we talk about how he sees the difference between pitching in Japan and what it may be a little bit different here in the United States, pitching in MLB. And he touches upon that through his interpreter, of course. We also talk about the big three in the minor league system, Brett Baty, Mark Vientos, and Francisco Alvarez. Is it their time? I love the Steve Cohen approach, build from within, and he is going to do that. And what we need to see Steve do, actually, is stick to his word. I know we didn't get Carlos Correa, but I like his approach, building from within, addressing the needs through free agent signings if you need to. But that's not going to be the long-term goal of Mets, and I'm so happy to see that. You see so many organizations striving and succeeding through building through the farm system. The Guardians are one team. The Astros, of course, they're the textbook. They tanked on purpose. And even when they got the number one draft picks, they didn't pan out well, but yet they still cultivated a good farm system to go ahead and make themselves contenders. And so many organizations, Baltimore is so well stocked right now. You look at Seattle, the same thing. And if that's the path the Mets take, we have a bright future indeed. And we talk about Marcana, Alvarez, and Beatty in depth. We also touch about topics that were addressed in our Facebook group. Hint, hint, if you're not on Facebook, you need to join. It's called New York Mets Baseball Way of Life on Facebook. Please join. We'd love to have you. And we discussed some of the topics that were there. I asked for your opinions on Mark Conha. What was the first thing when I say Mark Conha pops into your head? And we got some good responses. You'll want to check that out on the podcast or the Facebook group. We asked what your favorite Citi Field concession item was. Check that out. Wide variety. I don't think anyone said one item more than once. That shows you how good the food is at Citi Field. We love it and we keep coming back. And we asked our group members, how many wins do you think the Mets will get this year? Me personally, I'm shooting for the same old 101. And this year, because the division is going to be tighter, I hope the Braves and Phillies lose a few more games than the Mets this year, and 101 will do it for us in first place. We talk about Met birthdays, anniversaries, and our tribute to all the transactions that occurred on this day. Yeah, tribute, I guess. We just mentioned them. I couldn't think of the proper word. And as always, we have Met Trivia and Met Jeopardy. And boy, is that popular in the group. So check us out. It's New York Mets Baseball Way of Life, the podcast. It's on all your major carriers. Subscribe and you'll be updated. We do one every day. And please join the Facebook group, New York Mets Baseball Way of Life. You'll be glad you did. Talk to you soon. Enjoy the day. It's a little rainy here in the New York area, but it's supposed to clear later. And we got a President's 3-day weekend coming up. So hopefully all you guys can enjoy that. As always, let's go Mets and enjoy the podcast. Talk to you tomorrow.